Okay. We are live. Hey, everybody. It is Gladys B from Sisters Cafe. We are super excited. It's Friday. You know what that means. Yes, Sisters Cafe. We are excited not just because we're here. I'm excited because I have Dr. Faith in the building, y'all. She is at the cafe. Hey, Dr. Faith.
Hello, beautiful. How are you?
I am so good. Thank you for taking out your time to be here. I've been waiting for this.
Oh my gosh, you know I wouldn't miss it. I said I'm so excited I get to be in the cafe,
In the
y'all.
cafe, yes. So, first and foremost, everybody out there, like and share the video. We are live. You can catch us on Sisters Cafe Facebook page, Sisters Cafe YouTube page, and the Sisters Cafe Instagram page. So, go over there, click in, share with your friends, grab your cups, have a seat, get something to write with because it's about to be super duper good in here. Make sure you go over to the store, get you some cafe swag at www.sisterscafeinc.com. If you haven't, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss nothing. Subscribe to me with me on all social media platforms. And if you haven't, y'all, get those nominations in for Woman Crush Wednesday. And then meet me every Wednesday at noon on Power Influence Radio for Woman Crush Wednesday. So, yay, I am so excited. Thank you for being here. But before we jump into what we're going to talk about, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Oh, wow. And again, before I say a word, I have to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you for you being so intentional and us connecting and staying connected. I think that is so important. And then you invited me to the cafe. So I am just one happy girl right now. So thank you again, my sister. But yes, hello to everyone out there. I am Dr. Faith, as my sister said, and you can connect with me on social media handles, Instagram at Speaking by Faith. Also, you can connect with me on Facebook. Please send me a request. I want to be friends with you, to Faith Robertson, and you'll see Dr. Faith in parentheses. I want to stay connected with you, and I just appreciate this. Also, you can go to my website, www.speakingbyfaith.com. I want you to just put in your email so that you can keep track of everything that God has me doing in this season. Yes, he's up to something big, and I'm so thankful that me and my sister are a part of it.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going. If you can, you have the Wow Facebook group.
I
Can
do.
you tell us, one, who's invited in there, and two, how do they find you in order to be a part? What is there a requirement to be a part of the Facebook group?
Wow. And I say wow, no pun intended, but the group, the group is called Wow,
Wow.
Women of Worth, Women of Worth. And it is a private community, but they can go to www.wowfb.com and send a request to join. Wow was created because God told me, I want you to create what you want to see. I want to see women supporting each other. I want to see women pouring into one another. I want to see women coming together, collaborating, and not competing. So I created Wow, and God is blessing it. As you know, I am live at the same time you're live on Women Crush Wednesday. I am live on I'm Worth It Wednesday. So we're already on the same page. We're so connected. Yes, but I am live in the group every Wednesday at noon for I'm Worth It Wednesday, just to pour into ladies. It's only 30 minutes, but it is a powerful 30 minutes. We pray, we teach, all of that. So that is how you can become a part of Wow. Send me a request so that I can accept you into that awesome community.
That is so awesome. What made you, what inspired you to create the group?
Necessity. Necessity.
Okay.
Women need a safe place to just be, because we have to be on 10 everywhere else. I mean, social media is so, we just out there, and everybody has to be so perfect and so this. We needed a safe place to say, okay, I'm not feeling so perfect today. I need prayer today. This, today is just not a good day for me. Or can someone encourage me? Can someone pour into me? Can someone lighten the load that I am carrying? So I wanted to create that space. And even though we're over 700 women, it's still very intimate when we come together on the lives. The women are so excited just to be a part of a real sisterhood,
Right.
not a fake sisterhood.
Right.
Come on.
So there are fake ones.
Come on, come on. Absolutely.
Right.
So to be a part of a real sisterhood.
Right. And I love that. And it makes me, which is why I joined, not just because it was you, but I believed in the purpose in which you started it. But it's so aligned with Sisters Cafe. That's exactly what Sisters Cafe is. It's no judgment, no backbiting, no slandering, no none of that. It's just support. We're here to encourage, uplift, educate, support, and pray for each other with the understanding that when my sister wins, I win. And that's what it's about. So there's no, it doesn't matter what you come in here and saying, because you're allowed to say it. There's people in there, what I'm saying, people, but ladies who don't have the chance to say, well, my husband is doing this and my children are driving me crazy. At one point we couldn't say things like our children are driving me crazy, or I like this one, but I don't like that one. But in Sisters Cafe, you get to say that, because one thing I'm not going to do is pretend, I love all my children the same. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No,
you got that favorite.
You don't even like that one. But I thought about that. I used to try to say, what's wrong? I thought something was wrong with me. Why? Number one is number one. That's my number one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we grew up together. I had to learn what to do with him. I called him my test baby, because oh, we can't do that. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that to you. Oops, right. Oops.
Won't do that again.
Right. So on the second one, I didn't do that. No. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. So then the third one, and we did that, but there was such a different love between my first and my second and my third.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. I love them all. And I will lay down my life for my kids. I will, especially when they were little. But it was just a different endearing. So when people used to say, no, you have to love all your kids, I used to start to think something was wrong with me.
No.
So I made this place so people can be 100% real.
100%.
First of all, stop acting like you came out the womb saved, because you didn't.
Right.
We are saved in church for so long that we forget where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
And then we forget that other people are coming that way. So we're looking down at them, or we're judging them, or we're forgetting that such were some of us.
Yes. And that same grace that we needed, we need to show other people. Absolutely.
And
give them the grace. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think we don't show the same grace that we need, not just then, but even now?
Ooh, a lot of reasons. And I'll just give just a few. One of which is we get spiritual amnesia. We forget that we were once in that valley experience. We forget that we were once broken. We forget, and you're enjoying the limelight, but you forget, your past. You've kind of blocked it out.
Right.
But and you don't want to be transparent because you don't want to be judged. So that's one of the reasons that we don't show that grace that we should. And then, pride can creep in. Pride is very sneaky, very sneaky. And you have to be really careful so that you don't end up walking in pride like you have arrived.
Yes, and we do have to be careful. But we do. If y'all don't take anything else away, give someone else the same grace.
Same grace.
It's with loving kindness that we are drawn.
Exactly.
Give people the same grace. Spiritual amnesia. Yeah, I like that. I like that, because and it's weird, because if you talk to people, you really think they did forget. You have to remind them where they came from.
Yeah, they've gotten so high and so mighty, and they have all these titles and these platforms, and and like you said, unfortunately, they look down on other people who are struggling, who may not have arrived, and in the way that they have, who's still on the climb. So you can't ever get too proud of yourself or too big headed. You can't ever think that you have arrived, because we're all a work in progress, and we are all on different levels. I did a teaching on the valley, the climb, and the mountaintop.
Okay.
Just because you're on the mountaintop, don't forget about your sister who may be struggling in the valley because you were once there before.
And
So,
you
yes,
know what it feels like.
and you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
So, where is your compassion? Where is your compassion for that sister? So,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I'm interested. Did you tape that? Did you record it by any chance?
I did not record it, but I am going to go back and reteach it
Okay.
and record it. I
I
am
would
going to
love.
do that
I
because
would
I
love to
got,
hear
and I have women that are still talking about it, because I take on personal clients.
it.
So
Okay.
my one-on-one clients, and she said, I'm just so thankful for you because I know when I sent you a text message saying I need help, I was in the valley. But now
Mm.
working with you, I'm on the climb now. And there are valuable lessons at every level. At every
Okay.
level, there are some valuable lessons that we can take away.
Okay, that's good. And speaking of lessons, today's topic is how bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it?
Now, we had a conversation a couple weeks ago and we were just chit chatting, but this is what came up. And even though we got off the line, it was still kind of turning in my soul. Like, ooh, I mean, it's something I say to myself anyway, but I've never thought about putting it out there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so strong while we were talking about it. I'm like, this needs to be said. It
Yes.
needs to be talked about. And I'm sure we're not the first people to say anything about it. But if we could just maybe bring our own perspective to help people understand what they can do to change today.
Today. Yes.
Things don't have to take forever.
Mm-hmm.
Things aren't always weeks and weeks. You can make your mind up today. And you know what? Forgive me. The first question I should have asked you is what's in your cup?
Since I'm at the cafe, yes.
That's the
I was
most
like,
important question.
do I want to bring a teacup or do I want a tumbler? But I was feeling real fancy. So I put
Okay.
some water in a fancy glass. So yes.
Okay. Okay. Because that's the real importance here of the question here. But yeah, so I'll have the sisters. If y'all haven't, go ahead and order your tumbler. Go to www.sisterscafeinc.com and order your tumbler now. Usually you should have water, like Dr. Faith, but I'm rocking me some mocha iced coffee today because
Yes.
I like coffee.
And I'm getting me a tumbler. I am getting me a tumbler. But yes, I just got some water and in my
Yeah,
fancy
but it's
glasses.
pretty.
That's
You
just
make
how
people want to drink water.
drink some water. Be cute and drink some water, girl.
And for our audience, y'all, tell me what you're drinking. Your
Yes, I
favorite
love it.
cafe beverage. What? Go grab your cups and then come back. Put it in the comments. Your cafe
What's in
beverage,
your
please.
cup, girl? I love it. I love it. This is so awesome. We're all in the cafe,
We
and I get some
are. We
comments. I
are.
see my beautiful first lady is on here. Hello,
Yay!
beautiful. Yes, yes, one of my sisters is on here. So yes, welcome to the cafe. We up in here, y'all.
We up in here and shout out to Anita. Hey, Anita. And
Yes,
y'all, my the love of my life is on here. Y'all give Pastor Brown a hand for hanging out in the cafe with his wife.
we
Thank you,
see
son.
you, Pastor. We see you. Yes, yes, yes,
He
yes.
is. He is my hype squad today. So what I try to do is always have people that's going to, if we say anything about the website or the book or anything and you need the information, just check in the comments because he's putting the website, he's
I love,
hashtagging all the information you need to know. He's putting it in there. So thank you, baby.
I love it. I love it.
So
Yes.
we are talking about how bad do you want it? And one thing that came to mind was Jacob wrestling with that angel.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in the story where I'm not letting you go till you bless me.
I'm not
Period.
letting you go until you bless
I don't care
me.
what you do to me. I don't care what's coming my way. I
We
don't
going
care
toe
what
to
you
toe.
say. Right. I'm not letting you go
Yes.
until you bless me. And that there is the attitude that we need to take when we say it's a lot of things we want. A lot of things that we're saying we want to do, we want to accomplish, we got goals we want to meet, but we don't want to do anything for it.
Yes. That is so
So
true.
it's just a wish if you keep talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't become a action until you do something about it, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So, what gives you your drive? Like, where do you get it from? What makes you get up every morning and say, "Yeah, this is what I'm going to do"? Even because we know some certain things don't always work out. Things don't work out as we. I don't think anything in my life I think has worked out the way I planned it to.
That's it. Because that is where we run into the problem right there. My plan didn't work out the way I thought my plan was supposed to work out for my life. We got that wrong pronoun up in there. So when we start to align ourselves with God's will, because I always say you either in his will or you're in his way. Which one is it going
Ooh,
to be? Which one is it going
ooh,
to be? So once we humble ourselves and align ourselves with the will of God for our lives, that's when the how bad do you want it comes in, because the it that God has for you, I promise you, is not the it that you have for yourself. But that is the it that's going to get you your victory. That is the it that's going to get you your breakthrough. So when you become aligned and you focused on that it, that
mm-hmm.
is when the opposition comes, because the enemy does not want you to have that it.
No, no, because it's the best it ever,
Come on, come
ever.
on, come on.
If you, if any of us take a moment and look back at the things we planned versus how God worked it out, he did it the best. He did it the best. When I say God has the ability to blow your mind,
Yes.
like, my God, I just asked for this and he gave me this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've learned to stop asking for little things. Like,
He's
I
so
don't,
bored with us playing small. He's so
little,
bored with us
really.
thinking small. I mean, he's like, is that all we doing today? That's we did that yesterday, and that's all we doing today. I mean, he's so bored with our small-minded thinking. Yes.
And we put him in such a box. Like, we only, okay, God, I'm going to trust you to make sure my car runs or make sure this happens, but I don't trust you to deliver my child.
Oh, come on.
I trust you to make sure I have food, but I don't trust you to mend my family back together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's like we pick and choose
Pick and
what
choose.
we let him do, what we believe him. So because that's where it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
What we trust him to do and what we don't. So we either do or we don't. There's no, I feel like there's no in between. You either
There's
trust
no
him
in
or you
between.
don't.
Yeah, yeah. There's no in between.
So
Either
why
either
we
you
in
trust
between
him
them?
because we have gotten in our own way, and
Okay.
we have gotten so much of a world mind instead of a kingdom mind, because in the kingdom there is no independence. In the kingdom there is no private ownership. So when you know that everything belongs to God and he wants you 100% dependent on him, that you see that there's no in between. There
Wow.
is no other way. But
Wow.
we get so, I can do this. He's made us so gifted. Now we smelling ourselves. Oh, I got this. I can handle this. Oh, I got this over here. No, you ain't got nothing. Sit down
Nothing.
and let God be God in this situation.
Right.
Let
Right.
your gifted self sit down. Oh my gosh.
Gift itself. But that's for real though. That's for real.
Yes.
But it's back to how bad do we want it? I
Mm-hmm.
think it comes to a point of passion versus discipline.
Mm.
We want a lot of things. We want houses, we want cars, we want good credit, we want to lose some weight, we want to do all kinds of stuff, and we have a passion for it,
Mm-hmm.
but we have no discipline for it.
We have no discipline.
We want to have a good credit score, but we won't save any money. We
Mm.
won't pay our bills on time.
Mm.
We won't. We want a relationship with God, but we don't want to carve out 3 to 4 hours a day to lay on our face. We won't. We
Mm-hmm.
don't want to do fasting more than maybe once a week or so, if that. We only want to fast on Lent or right before Easter, and that's
Yes.
all we get.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
No, we don't. It's a matter of sacrifice
And we don't
when
want to
it's
do that.
when it comes down to how bad you want something. The other thing I realized though too, we do what we want to do.
We get
We
real
sac-
resourceful. We get real
don't we?
resourceful when it's something that we want to do that's going to satisfy that flesh. Oh, baby, we make a way. We find a way. Yes.
And although it's a hard pill to swallow, we have to realize that when some people say, well, I don't have time. I didn't have time to call. I didn't have time to check on you. I didn't have time to show up for this. I didn't, you know what it is, but people do exactly what they want to do. And I learned that. And I'm like, that's kind of, even with church, you
Mm,
don't want to go to church for
mm,
2 to 3 hours, but
mm.
even the regular movie is 2 hours.
Come on. Come
Then
on.
you get dinner.
Call it out. Call it
Then
out.
you paid hundreds of dollars for movie dinner,
Co-
but you gave the church $1.
$1. Come on.
You
Call
know,
it
a
out.
dollar
Call it out. Call it out.
that fed your soul.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They get $1, but AMC gets $120.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
did, and the first thing you say is, "I don't have it,"
Mm-hmm.
but you
You
found it.
wonder why. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of, sis, it's a matter of priorities. Are we really seeking first the kingdom? Are we really seeking God first? Are we really putting him first in everything that
Everything.
we do?
Mm.
Not just when you show up on Sundays. Did you put him first on Mondays? What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Are you reaching for your phone? Are you on social media? What are you checking your bank account to make sure that direct deposit hit? What are you doing? What's the first thing you're doing when
Right.
you open your eyes, which is a gift of the day? So we need to be present with the Lord because he gave us that. So what are your priorities? What are your priorities? So when you say, how bad do you want it?
Mm.
Maybe your it should be, how bad do you want to hear God say, well done?
Well done.
How bad do you want that? What will you do to hear that? Will you love somebody that you know don't like you? Will you love them past what they say? Will you love them past what they do? Will you show Christ in everything that you
Mm.
do? How
Mm.
bad do you want it? Because at the end of the day, I want to hear my daddy say, daughter, you handled that very well. I know they mishandled you, but you
Right.
represented me well.
Well,
That's how bad I want it. Come on. Girl,
right.
I'm up in the cafe
I tell you. I
with
tell
my
you.
sister.
But I like what you said. I did a topic years ago, but it just said we have to straighten out our priorities
Mm-hmm.
because that's the bottom line. What's important to us is what we get done. But I feel like we in the cafe, right? We
Come
have
on.
softened the gospel. We
That
have,
was such a beautiful word. You said soften.
I
That's
said softened. We softened it. People aren't scared no more. We come to church regardless of what we was doing Saturday. We in church on Sunday. We not miss them, doors is open. We know to be in there, and that's how we were raised. And then we got kind of in this age where we're a little softer on people. Well, I guess you don't have to. I guess you can watch it online. I guess you. So that made it kind of non. It doesn't make it. I hate to say the word scary, but we feel like it's unnecessary now.
exactly.
The things that we used to have to do to be in order, to be with God, to be lived a saved life, we don't do it no more.
No, no. Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
I don't, I'm scared that it's going to make all of us just be like, well, it don't take all that. Me and my husband were just talking about that a second ago. We get to a point where we say, it don't take all that. It doesn't. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. That's tradition. That's religion. That's this.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all mixed up in the head
Mm-hmm.
and we're
Mm-hmm.
putting God on the back burner because we're rushing and we're pursuing and we're driving after everything else
Everything else.
but the kingdom of God when the Bible clearly says to seek ye first. Clear. It's not even like he stuttered in the Bible. Seek ye first the kingdom of God.
That's it. That's it.
Everything else to come, and we
And
got
everything
it
else will
backwards.
come. Everything else
We
will
got
come.
it backwards, but I feel like we need to bring it back. Jesus is real.
Mm-hmm.
Hell is real. Heaven is real. Don't be all messed up. And then when you get to the throne, You be looking like blood, duh. What you mean, God, that to depart from me? What you mean? I was at church. I watched it online.
Right?
What you mean, depart from me? That's gonna be a sad day. I don't
Mhm.
want to be. I don't want to see it. I need to. I need to see him in peace. I must.
Well, sister,
Woo.
I can tell you, and I love what you said, how we have softened the church. We have lost that reverential fear of God. But I can tell you that there's going to be a shaking and an awakening that is going to hit the body of Christ,
Mm.
because it is time for us to make a clear distinction between the church and the world, because the world has gotten into the church, and they doing the club has gotten on the pulpit, and just you can't tell one from the other. Where is the distinction?
Where are they supposed to run? If the righteous, if we are not in position and we are not holding up the bloodstained banner and we are not represent holiness, where are the sinners supposed to run into? Where do they go? Who do they go to?
They
If
run
we
into
are
each
not
other.
being the representatives that we are supposed to be, where
Hmm.
do they go?
Hmm.
I,
Hmm.
I'm afraid.
Oh
I'm
man. And
afraid.
even for the younger generation, my daughter just turned 16, and I love to bring her to women empowerment events with me, because I want her to see that there are women who support each other, who love each other, that are powerful women, that are not competitive. We work together, we collaborate, we build together, and we're not out here being mean girls. So I think it's important that we set that example,
Right.
so that she can be an example to even her peers. So when they're, acting out of character, we have set a standard in that next generation where they like, no, no, this is not how this is supposed to go down. No.
Right. Right. And I'm glad you spoke of that, because speaking of the next generation, I tell my son a lot, you're going to have to bring this back to the church.
Come on.
You're going to have to be the person who stands up for holiness, period.
Hmm.
No compromising, no, well, maybe this, well, maybe that. Well, that's okay. Well, God loves everybody. Let's just bring it back. Holiness is right.
Hmm.
Stand up for it. And I love that he does. I love that he stands up for that. I love that he's not trying to inch little things in.
Hmm.
I love that he's not walking in church looking like he just came out the club.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? He reverences God. He reverenced how he looks. He cares about how he walks into the sanctuary. And I love that about him. I love that. But the next generation, somebody's going to have to stand up
Somebody's gonna have to
and
say
hold that bloodstained banner up and say holiness is still right, because it is.
it is. It is. And we have a responsibility to, once again, represent God, to
Right.
represent Him, to show Him to the world again, because they have, like I said, lost that reverential fear of His presence. So it's our responsibility. So
Absolutely.
I love platforms like this,
Hmm.
where it's so open, it's so real, it's so raw. We can talk about anything, because life is lifing for so many people,
Ooh,
and sometimes people can over spiritualize things, that it's just something that you need to do in your character.
that's it.
Don't throw a scripture at it, get your mind right. Don't quote me a scripture, stop gossiping and talking about people. I mean, it's
Right.
just some character things that we need to do.
Right.
So we need to find that balance. and
Mhm.
and I love the way, God pulled me out of private practice to do what I do. So I came from marketplace.
Okay.
So I love the way he has married marketplace and the coaching that I do with the spiritual, because it is application. And
Okay.
it makes the Bible come alive. It's application of the scriptures. How do I bridle my tongue? First thing
Hmm.
I want to do is go off on somebody and you just throw me a scripture, bridle your tongue. How? Can somebody
How?
show me how?
Right.
We need to show them how to
Right.
love your enemies, how to pray for those. We need to show them. It's our responsibility, because if we don't, who's going to do it?
Nobody.
All right.
Nobody. Because, and I'm glad you said that too, because it is our responsibility. And kind of going back history wise, this is why Sisters Cafe was created,
Mm,
because we were in church and nobody understands. You're telling me to do A, B, and C. The Bible says do D, E, and F. Well, I don't know how.
I don't know how.
Like, how does that work? Sisters Cafe was created so that I can come and say, this is happening inside of me, and I don't know what to do with it.
Come on.
Because what was going on is people were just saying, and let me just say, the older people would just say, pray about it. Go tell Jesus about it. Pray
Mm-hmm.
about it. So
Mm-hmm.
then I literally start thinking there was something wrong with my relationship with God, why I'm feeling a certain way inside, or I can't deal with certain things. And you know what? We at the cafe, right?
With the cafe. Let's go.
Woo, let's go. So for those that I got married when I was 18, but I got divorced when I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, after the fact, I still needed marital things.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how not to need them.
Mm-hmm.
And although I prayed, although I was at church, although when I asked, what am I supposed to do? I'm still needing the marital touch going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They basically said, well, pray about it, fast, pray. And I did that. So as I got older and worked with this and prayed about it and read about it and did all that, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going on with me.
That's what's going on.
That's not going to change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's not going to change because I pray or I do anything like that. God made me a woman,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
head to toe. That's what I am.
Mm-hmm.
So what has to happen is I have to have a mind shift. It's not just, oh, I prayed, oh, I fasted. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's figure out the root cause. You
Mm-hmm.
had it, now you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something to that. So what I start to think is, wow, how many women are sitting in church in silence, suffering because they think something's wrong with their relationship because certain things are going on in their thoughts or their bodies or their hearts, or why they can't stop grieving, or why they want this, or why they don't like their kids. Different things like that. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's find out how.
The how. The how. And the transparency is women, a lot of women, just because we're women and we're talking about women, don't realize that transparency is your superpower, because you will never conquer what you don't confront. So again, that's why I love spaces like this and wow. And when I do my monthly girls' night in, I mean, that is a safe container where women can just be, where it's okay if sis, you got this going on. That's what we're here for.
Period.
That is what we are here for. And it doesn't mean that you are weak if you go to someone for help or wise counsel. That's actually wisdom. The enemy wants to keep you isolated so that he can continue to feed those negative thoughts so that you can be stuck in those negative mindsets.
Right.
It's a trick of the enemy. But we don't want to be judged. And I don't want anybody to know that I had to file bankruptcy. And I don't want anybody to know that, I had an abortion or I got a divorce. And I don't want anybody to know.
Right.
Baby girl, that's the only way you're going to heal.
It is.
And everything that you come out of, it's not even for you. It's for you to help bring somebody else out. Because you got to tell your story, boo.
Woo!
Somebody's waiting on your yes. Are you kidding me? How dare you hold on to all that wisdom that you learned in the valley and not give it to somebody else who's stuck?
Right. That's right. We had the baby got christened a couple weekends ago. And it was also Pastor Milton. Shout out to Pastor Milton. It was also my baby's 5th church pastoral anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was allowed to have words, and I had never said it out loud before. And I said it out loud, and I paused for a minute because I almost got scared to say it in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought about, no, I'm cafe here. This is what we're here for. But what I reminded him of while I'm standing in front of this 27-year-old pastor at his 5th anniversary is he was saying how many times God has kept him from death. in his growing up life, car accidents, heart attacks, different things that he's gone through, and God has kept him. And so when I got up, I told him, what you don't know is he was keeping you before that. Because when I got pregnant with you, I found out that his dad was cheating and the other girl was also pregnant. And I said to myself, I didn't want to have him because I would always be reminded that my husband was cheating on me. So I told him, and I told everybody there, I tried 3 times to get rid of him.
Wow.
Home abortions I was trying to do to myself.
Wow.
So not only is he not supposed to be here, I shouldn't be here. And I told him, you are purpose, because I did what I knew to do, because I meant I wasn't going to have him. So
But
he
God.
should not, but God, it was purpose. And I said that out loud to attest to his purpose for being here on the earth, to spread the gospel and declare the works of the Lord. You are supposed to be here.
You're supposed, before he was formed in your womb, baby, God knew him and sanctified him and set him apart. You couldn't touch him because he was destined.
And I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. And I told everybody, and don't try this at home, because that was very unsafe for me to do. Very unsafe for me to do. But the thought, and that's the fear, hadn't even happened yet. I'm so scared that I'm going to look at my baby and remember my husband cheated. And do you know, I've never thought about it again? Ever. I mean, ever. I would have got rid of my childhood for
over
what?
something that you just
Hadn't even
imagined that was going to happen, that you didn't even know, that had even know nothing that it was going to happen, but you just had that fear.
Because that's what the enemy comes to do, to steal, to kill, and to destroy. We think he's after our houses and our cars, and he don't care nothing about your house, your car, your money, your job. He coming for that big stuff. He coming for the faith. He's coming for your purpose.
Yes.
He's coming for your hope, for your joy. Because if he gets it, he got you.
Yes.
It is impossible to please God without faith. Impossible. So if the enemy gets to snatch that from you, he's won.
He's won.
That was one of the prayers Jesus prayed. Was it Peter? I think it was Peter. But Jesus prayed. He prayed. He said, I pray that your faith fail you not. He could have prayed a whole bunch of other stuff. So faith must be that important, which means we have to protect it, which means we have to feed it. We have to increase it. We have to grow our faith at all cost. Because like you said, life be lifing. And if we're too busy looking at what we see, we'll lose faith in a heartbeat.
You said it. Because I just want to jump in and talk about fear, because that is a big stumbling block for most people. The fear of failure, the fear of being judged, the fear of missing God, the fear of this, fear of that, the fear of success, the fear of it. What if? Fear in and of itself is like a shadow. It's like a shadow. It's going to follow you wherever you go. It's like that uninvited guest on a journey. So we have got to put fear in its place, knowing that when you stand up to talk to those 10,000 people, fear is going to be standing right there. But you have to take authority over fear and say, look, I'm doing this, knees shaking, bubble guts, all of that. You sit down, let me get through this, because this is going down, fear, and you ain't stopping nothing. And people think that you can't have faith and fear at the same time. Well, see, that is where I have a disagreement, because you said it. You said if you can see it, you don't need faith for it. So the opposite of fear is, the opposite of faith is sight. Is sight. We walk by faith and not by sight.
Right.
If I can see it, I don't need faith for it.
No.
So we have to believe God for the invisible. We have to believe God for the unseen thing. That is where your faith comes into play. And your faith needs to be visible. I love that story where the four crazy friends defied gravity and lowered their friend down through the roof. And Jesus said he saw their faith. So
They
can
wanted
we
it real
see?
bad.
Come on. How bad do you want it? Can
How
we
bad do you
see
want it?
your faith? Can we see you walking on water? Can we see you being obedient to God when it don't look like it makes any sense? Can we see you saying yes to God when everybody is talking about you and laughing at you? Can we see your faith?
Mm, mm.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was actually in my notes. That was one of the, other than Jacob wrestling with the angel, the woman with the issue of blood. Zacchaeus got up in that tree so he could see Jesus. But it was, I used that example for check your squad. So that's something we say all the time in Sisters Cafe is check your squad. It's chapter number 4 in the book. If you ain't got the book, go get it. The best version of me. But chapter number 4 is check your squad. But that's my example. That's my squad.
Come on.
When I need, whew,
Mm-hmm.
when I need, I don't need somebody to say, okay, well, you shouldn't have done this or you shouldn't have done that or this is what I don't want to hear that. Start praying.
Mm-hmm.
See how you can get me to Jesus.
And help
That's
me.
what my squad's going to do.
Exactly.
We had a we were taping Sisters Cafe a while ago. This was a couple years ago, but my phone kept ringing, 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 ringing. I kept ignoring it, but finally, when everybody called, my son, my mama, everybody, I was like, "Wait, let me pick up the phone." But my baby had been, middle one had been in an accident, and immediately, I mean, whew, I just kind of broke down, just on tape and everything, just broke down. And what I liked about the 4 girls who were around me, they didn't ask what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They just start praying.
Mm-hmm.
They just start praying. And when I tell you, I'm like, that's my squad right there.
Come on, squad.
The ones that's going to lift me up, the ones that's going to encourage me, the ones that's, they're not going to condemn me or judge me or anything like that. They're going to get me to Jesus.
Come on.
To me, that's the best squad you can have in the world. That's why I say check your squad. Be careful who you are. Everybody ain't your friend.
Everybody, come on. Come on.
They don't even like you.
And they sure don't want to see you win.
No.
Yes, they
Everybody is
throw the rock.
sis, bro. That's my uncle. That's my cousin. And these people don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just putting them all, we're telling them our dreams and our hopes. And then they turn around and they're using it against us. Get you just a couple of 1 or 2, maybe. Maybe.
If you lucky, 3.
If you lucky.
If
You don't need an entourage.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. You don't.
Your friends, your relationships, your jobs, the people you around, the people you got in your space can make or break you.
Mm-hmm.
How bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? And
That's
I have
family members, church members, everybody members.
Everybody members.
Do what you got to do so you can see Jesus in peace.
And, you said it. You said it. And I have the same type of belief system where you call it your squad. I call it the corner, because there's a difference in your circle and your corner. What? Your circle has that kind of revolving door mentality. They come and they go. Your circle can be big one week and then it's small the next week.
Right.
A circle is a circle is a circle. But that corner is always constant. It's always 90 degrees. That is it.
Wow.
And your corner, like you said, that squad, they're not going to judge you. They're going to pray for you. They're going to say, here, girl, take this $500. You don't owe me nothing. Take care of that bill. Let me go pick up the kid and you go study. Your corner, you can, be just naked and unashamed and with your corner say, I'm dealing with this. I need help with this. And like you said, they're not going to judge it. They're not going to put a post on Facebook about it. They're not going to preach a message about it. You can be honest with them. Right. Your corner. But that circle, and see where we mess up is we expect corner treatment from circle people. You got to know the difference. That saved my life. And that saved a lot of tears and crying and being disappointed in people, because to be disappointed in a person means you misappointed that person.
Right.
You put them up on a pedestal. You gave them a title. You made them an idol. You
Woo!
expected something that they weren't even qualified to give. So that disappointment, boo boo, it's on you. You
On
misappointed
you.
them. Discernment. Come on,
Period.
cafe.
Period.
Girl, I
We,
get so excited up in here.
for real, we set ourselves up when
Mm-hmm.
we exaggerate ourselves in other people's lives. And that's what we do.
Come
That's
on.
why you'll hear us say, well, they didn't support me, so I'm not going to support them. Look, you either going to go or you ain't. It ain't about who did and who didn't, because who was riding with you is riding with you.
That's it.
Who ain't, you just move accordingly. Don't, no feelings need to be involved.
That's it.
And then when people show you who they are, believe them, please. I know we give people the benefit of the doubt. I know we want to, give excuses for why they act. They mama was this, or they wasn't raised like you. Or I get all that. But you showed me, I saw, and I move accordingly. I love you, but I move accordingly.
That's wisdom.
It took a minute. It took a minute.
Yeah, we had to grow into this.
Yeah,
We had to grow into this. Yeah. I've given so many benefits of the doubt. Now, like I said, I believe you. When you show me, I believe you.
right.
It is all good.
It's all good.
Because
It's
there's
all
no
good.
benefit in it for me. When I doubt it, I'm supposed to doubt it. There's no benefit in that. So
Right.
but we had to grow into that. We had to mature into
We
that.
did.
And
We did.
that way you can govern yourself accordingly.
Accordingly.
And it protects your oil, it protects your anointing, it protects your heart, it protects your feelings, it protects you.
Yes. Yes. So we are talking about how bad you want it. So I have a question for the audience. And y'all can just type it in. We in the cafe, so you say, what's something that you've been saying you want to do, you're going to do, God told you to do, but you haven't moved toward it at all?
Uh-oh.
Because like we said before, just talking about it, that ain't nothing but a wish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to write stuff down. You got to write the vision, make it plain. I know that has actually become a cliche.
It is.
But it's for real.
Mm-hmm.
Write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have so many things go through my brain, like seriously. So it's gotten to the point where I had to create what I call the big idea box.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's not repeating itself in my brain forever. I have to write it down and I put it in this box if I can't deal with it right then.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many big things. If you could see my office right now, I got these really, really big Post-it notes on my wall, and everything is an idea that I have in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to get it out of my head, I have to put it on the wall, but I don't want to put it away because then I won't see it no more.
Exactly. I like that.
I keep it in my forefront. I keep things in my forefront. Same with affirmations and things like that. It's good. Affirmations are good. I know that's a side note. While everybody is answering the question about,
and I don't see an answer yet, so I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. They procrastinating about putting the answer in there.
Right. So we want to know, what is something you've been saying you want to do or accomplish, but you haven't moved towards it. Y'all can be honest. We ain't gonna tell nobody. And then while you're there, tell me what's stopping you. Is it fear, comfort, discomfort, distractions?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Anita says, I have not written down anything currently. Guilty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting that up there. All right. Sheila. Start my foundation for disaster relief, Angel Tree, and to help those in need.
And Sister Sheila has verbally told me about this vision that God gave her. So I applaud you, Sister Sheila, number one, for your transparency. But now, what a lot of times what we're missing is accountability. Okay. We don't have anybody to hold us accountable. But when you put it out there, now we can support you in that.
Right.
And help you get over those roadblocks. And a lot of times it's fear, just feeling unqualified. Well, let me just, take care of that. You're not qualified. You're not qualified. He doesn't call the qualified. No. He qualifies you as you go. Absolutely. So get over that. You don't need to get all these certifications. And I'm going to get one more certification. I'm going to go back to school. And I'm going to get just 2 more years. And I'm going to get this degree. And you don't need all of that. You just need the Holy Ghost. You'll be fine. You will be fine. Take the first step.
So she's saying mostly fear and distractions is what's causing her not to have moved forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anita says, supposed to be retiring soon. So is that, are you scared to retire? Is it hopes? What's holding you back from doing that? So we're going to give you guys the example. Oh, wait, we got another one. Mr. Brown, Pastor Brown, writing discipleship training books. Yes,
We
sir.
need that, Pastor.
Yes, we do.
We need that. Okay. So you see how people are attached to your yes? How we're out here struggling and need that discipleship training. We need what you're sitting on, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
yes, let this be a little push for you. You got people, I would buy it. You know, if you had a link and you could put it up here today, I would purchase it.
Nice.
So we
And
need
I
it.
will publish it.
Come on, we need it. We need it, sir. Kind sir.
So, kind sir, what
Yeah.
is stop? You got to answer the second part, which what is stopping you from moving forward? Is it fear? Is it distractions? What could possibly, when you get ready to do it or when you go forth to start it, what is stopping you or holding you back from doing what God told you to do? And Anita, that goes for you. What's stopping you from that? And also, what kind of help would you guys need?
Mm-hmm.
Sheila, Anita,
Mm-hmm.
Pastor Brown, what type of help, if any, do you feel like you need? Because again, that's what the network is for.
Mm-hmm.
You put it out there. Closed mouths don't get fed. That's what they say, right?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
never know who's sitting across the table from you that has exactly what you need.
Exactly what you
As
need.
with Pastor Brown, writing
Mm-hmm.
discipleship training books, he is married to a whole self-published author. There's no reason his stuff is not, but he has, he has to say it. It has to be put forth.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'm saying, the Sisters Cafe Network. And if you haven't, this is a plug, but if you haven't, it is for ladies only. Sorry, Pastor Brown. But go over to the Sisters Cafe Network and join the network. The goal is, again, when my sister wins, I win. As I was telling Dr. Faith, if I have a company, you got a job. I got a car, you got a ride. I got some chicken, you got some dinner. That's just the way it is. When I win, you win. When you win, I win. So that is what the cafe is all about.
I love it.
Pastor Brown says, Amen. Distraction and so many writings. Don't know where to begin. I understand that. We're going to eat that elephant one bite at a time, sir.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time.
Anita says, my family has asked me to write a book also. I will be praying for guidance. Hey, I would love to know what it's about. What's your book about? But that's exciting. You guys, there's so much we could be doing. And you can do it. You can do it. The other people that we didn't mention in the Bible, Hannah. Hannah wanted that kid real bad.
Come on.
Real bad. She didn't care what people was thinking about her. They thought she was drunk. She didn't care. She didn't care. But that's how we got to be for God.
That's it.
Whatever He tells us to do,
mm-hmm.
It don't matter what it looked like. Because I'm sure Noah, they was looking at Noah real crazy.
Real crazy.
Until they was drowning.
I got Noah tendencies, trust. Yeah, they were looking at me. I definitely got Noah tendencies because they was looking at me real crazy when I was closing my practice. They were like, and you're going to do what? You leaving your 6-figure practice to do what? Now I'm like, how you like me now? Because I'm living in this beauty of obedience. So yeah, definitely Noah tendencies.
Isn't it nice though?
Yes, nice? I love it.
Obedience is nice. When you literally, it's back to trusting God. Do we trust Him for real?
Do we trust Him for real?
He said He would. It doesn't matter if it comes 2 days or 2 years or 20 years. If He said, He cannot go back on His word.
He can't lie.
The word cannot come back to Him void.
It cannot.
If He says it, it will be done.
It will be done.
It will be done. I saw a post and I love it, but it says, don't let the process punk you out of your promise.
I love that.
Don't let it happen. We again, that's that sight, right? We seeing This
Mhm.
is crazy. I can't pay the bills. This is not happening. I don't have this. I don't have that. But what did God tell you? Well, now I'm sick in
Ooh.
my body, but now I can't. But what did God tell you? You know what I mean?
What did God tell
We're
you?
looking. What did I heard? It's a saying: you can't see the forest
For the
for the
trees.
trees.
Yeah, yeah. You can't
That's
see the
what we're
forest for
doing. We're so busy looking.
the
Who
trees.
was that kept looking? Was that Peter? It wasn't until he realized and looked at, wait, hold on, am I walking on water?
Yes, 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 yes.
Then
By
he
the
began
winds
to sink.
and the waves, got distracted, took his
Got
off.
distracted.
Yep, took his eyes off of Jesus.
Eyes off.
Yep.
There we go. Eyes got off the prize,
Mhm,
and you
mhm.
began to sink.
And you begin to sink, and you
Same with us.
to
Same
sink,
thing.
and it's
With our
real.
eyes, we took our eyes off of God. Now we're stressed, overwhelmed, bewildered, lethargic. All these things
Confused.
because we took our focus off of
Mhm,
Him.
mhm.
Now we're focused on things He didn't even tell us to do.
Even tell us to do. Chasing the
Period.
next shiny object. You have lost, your vision, your purpose. You all over the place. Like I said, sometimes we're too gifted. Because you can do some things doesn't mean you're supposed to do everything at the same time.
I
So
have
you're
to
just all over the place and nothing is getting completed.
nothing.
Nothing is getting completed.
Nothing.
So know the season that you're in. Is this your season to sit? Is this your season to speak? Is this your season to stand up? Is this your season to learn? Is this your season to build? Is this know the season that you're in and kill it, rock it. Stay in
I
your
love
lane
it.
and work your lane, baby. Can't nobody do your lane the way you can.
Right.
But as
Right.
soon as we start looking, what happens? We drift over
Yeah,
into
we do.
somebody else's lane, crashing, all of that. Yeah. You-
You done crash and everything. But we
yes.
do. We do. And you guys, we're gonna if you guys have any questions, now is the time because I'm gonna let Dr. Faith go. But you guys think about what we said. I am going to download it and then it will be available on YouTube sometime this week so you can go back and replay it if you like. But think about it. Think about it. It does come down to priorities, but God has to be the priority.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of your priority being, okay, yes, you want to lose weight. Yes, you want to get a good credit score. Yes, you want a house on a hill with a whole bunch of land. But our goal is heaven. Well, my goal is heaven. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but that's the ultimate goal. So everything that we do should line up on the path to heaven. Because when it's all said and done, when he cracks the sky, when he come back through, your house on the hill ain't gonna matter
Exactly.
at all. Who said what to you? Who did wrong to you? You harboring unforgiveness, it ain't worth him saying, "Depart from me."
Not at all.
Nobody is that important to send you straight down to hell.
Nobody.
Forgive.
Forgive.
Let it go.
Ooh.
Let it go. And it has nothing to do with them. Because God's not going to say, well, why do you think you didn't forgive them? Well, why did you hold on to that? He's not going to ask you that. He's not. Not only that, we talked about grace in the beginning. The same grace we need is the same forgiveness we need.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Every day. Every day.
We have not arrived. I know
And we
most
have
of us
to,
think we have.
but we have not. And we have to be okay with that apology that you're never going to get.
No.
Give them grace, forgive them, because unforgiveness is a self-made prison and you hold the key. So imagine you sitting in a prison, you got the key, but you just gonna sit there. Make it make sense.
And think they gonna be mad about it. They don't even know you sitting in prison with the key.
With the key. Make it make sense. Girl, who have unlocked that door and get out of there and be free.
Your mind.
Free your mind.
Free your mind. If we can get that in our heads again, like drinking poison. I'm gonna drink the poison, thinking you gonna die. And even more than that, that harbors inside, that causes sickness and illnesses. It's not just, it has nothing to do with the other person. Just forgive.
Just forgive.
Just forgive. One thing that helps me is I needed forgiveness so many times. I just do it
Just do it.
because I need grace always. So I just give it because I need it. Even no matter what I've learned, what I've been through, how long I've been in church, how much I pray, I still need grace today.
Today.
Today, because you know what, you live, you learn. It's, you know, again, you don't even arrive in life. There's
Never.
still
Never
stuff
reach
that's
there.
happening
Yeah.
that I'm like, wait, what?
No.
Like what? This is life. Like
Hmm.
nobody said that.
That's what this is.
You know, even
Yes.
with the kids growing up, you got your kids and they grew up and you had to deal with that, but now they grown and there's other stuff. You know, I'm like, I really honestly thought when it was, you know, when they was grown, it was just over. I
Mm.
didn't know it just became something different.
You just came something different.
Yeah,
You
just
just
they
took
little needs now become really big needs,
big needs. Yeah. Yeah.
and still be you just stressed out more. Them kids, ooh. But
But that's, hey, that's life. But how
there's
bad
a,
do you want it? How bad do
there's
you
a
want it?
quote that says, "Desire is what gets you started.
Hmm.
Discipline is what keeps you going. Faith is what helps you finish."
I love it.
We have to, for those who are working on themselves, fast and pray on a regular basis.
Hmm.
Not just when the pastor tells you to, not just because there's things we need to get, you know, learn and get out of our own self. God is still trying to work on us.
Hmm.
There are some things that still have to be healed and delivered and set free inside of us, even though we've had made a very good job of suppressing things and
Hmm.
hiding
Hmm.
things and
Hmm.
just
We're so good. Oh, yes.
we're very good at wearing the mask we wear every day,
Yes. We will
knowing
function.
you, ooh, knowing you need to be on that altar on a
Come
regular,
on.
and we all do. That's what it's for, though. It's for us all. But fast and pray, set small wins. Yes, you want to write the book. You don't know where to start. Just start. Just start. So little things. Write the book. So that means you might have to just figure out the chapters first. You
Hmm.
might have to just think of some ideas that you even want to talk about, but write them down.
Hmm.
You got things you want to start. You might need to research um, buildings, venues, things like that. Just do little things, and then the momentum will build motivation. You
Hmm.
start it, and you be like, "Oh, oh, this is possible. I can
Yes.
do this.
I can
I
do
can
that.
do this." And then you'll keep going, and then speak life. Watch your words. Speak
Mm.
over yourself like it's already done.
Mhm.
Speak those things as though they are.
Mhm. Mhm.
Speak it. Tell yourself, I got this. I
Mhm.
can do this. I
Mhm.
can make this. I can conquer this. I can overcome this because you can.
You can.
Surround yourself with grinders. Check your squad, circle versus corner. Surround yourself with people who are going to push you and tell you you can and say, hey, you need help with that? I got
Mhm.
that. I know how to do that. I know somebody who knows how to
I
do
love
that.
it. I love it.
Surround yourself with supportive individuals and then journal your journey. Write it down.
Mhm.
One thing I love to do, sometimes I pull up my YouTube channel and I look at the first YouTube I ever put out. We were literally in front of a blue curtain, no lights, no nothing, a table, pink tablecloth, and a flower on it. That's how it started. And now we're here. And I think about it so many times. I'm like, I didn't even know what I was doing or trying to do or where I was going. I didn't. But
Mhm.
I had two friends that said, whatever, let's do it. And they rocked out with me the whole time.
I love
It
it.
wasn't like, that don't make sense. One time when I finally started getting lights, I didn't know how to use them. I had them backwards. And we did a couple shows like that. But I'm like, why y'all didn't tell me my lights was backwards? They was like, we was rolling with you. I'm like, but I love it. I love to back then I didn't think anything was possible.
Mhm.
Anything.
Mhm.
So I like the journal the journey because I can see what God did. And it makes me say, okay, wait, if we can do that, hold on, we headed that way. We headed
Yes.
that way. This is about to be bigger. This is international. This is not just
I
for
love
sitting. I'm loving it. I'm
Yes.
loving it because at first I did not think I could.
Hmm.
Meeting people along the way. My pastor is no longer she's my forever pastor, but I moved. But I told her, she's a little lady, but it's like she's Mighty Mouse or something. Because when she opens her mouth, it's like, whoa. But it was her that I would look at. And sometimes I told her, don't feel weird because I'm staring at you, but I'm like in amazement.
Mm.
But she made me know that I can,
Yes.
that I can.
Yes.
Without her coming over and saying, hey, she didn't pat me on the head and say, you can do this.
Hmm.
Just watching her
Hmm.
made me know, wait a minute, I can speak life for myself.
Hmm.
I can get up and declare the works of the Lord.
Come
I
on.
can share this with other people. I can be transparent and still be saved.
Come on.
So it was just, we have to be an example. We have to be that light. We have to be the representative for Jesus Christ. We have
Mhm.
to.
We have to. We
We
have
have
to.
to.
And he just wants us to have
Woo.
that childlike faith. I like the
Yes.
fact that you laughed at your beginning, but that was that childlike faith where
Yes.
it was just funny and you just did it and just, okay, let's go. And that's where
Right.
he wants us. That's where he wants us. Just
Yes.
that childlike, believe me for anything, because nothing is too hard for me. Nothing that makes me nervous. Believe me
Right.
for it. And watch what I do. So I talk real crazy. I do. I go for stuff. I don't have the money for it. I don't have this, but God told me to do it. Guess what? It's going to be done. It is going
Oh,
to be done. How? By faith.
by faith.
By
By
faith.
faith. And we need not never mind how.
Hmm.
Just trust that he's going to do it.
Oh, he's
a
going to.
100%. 100%. But I am going to let you go. I have kept you. I appreciate everybody that joined. The participation was awesome. Y'all, we love participation here at the cafe. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the website, www.sisterscafeinc.com. If you haven't, go over, check out the podcast, get you some cafe swag from the store, order the best version of me. Also, if you have a nomination for Woman Crush Wednesday, send in that so we can spotlight these amazing women that are making a difference in people's lives. And just remember, if you really want it, your actions will reflect your hunger. You'll
Mm,
make room for it.
come on.
You'll press like the woman with the issue of blood.
Come
You'll
on.
wrestle like Jacob did with that angel,
Come
and
on.
you'll believe in it like Hannah did. We love you. We're so glad that you were here, Dr. Faith. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to do this with you in person, though.
Oh, yes.
We're
Oh,
gonna have to do it in person. We're
you're
gonna have
in
to.
Houston, right?
I am in Houston.
Girl,
Yes,
you right down the street. You
right
right
down
down
the
the
street,
street.
and you right down the street too.
Yes, yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
super excited, but blessings to you and
Thank you.
everything
Thank
that
you.
your hands touch.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, y'all. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time for another segment of Sisters Cafe.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.